name is Elfreda Vaughan of Metta-morphics, and in this video I want to talk about why we people please. People pleasing as a process is related to impression management. And what that means is we're engaging in certain behaviours to try and control another person's perception of us or our own perception of ourselves. If we're afraid of not being a nice person, being seen as being difficult, being seen as being unpleasant, not caring or not loving, then we're going to behave in certain ways to try and control how another person views us. If we're concerned that people won't love us or won't want us, and that the only way we can get them to love or care about us is to do nice things for them, then we will engage in people-pleasing behaviours in order to ensure that we get what we need. Somebody using avoidant attachment strategies based on the dynamic maturational model of attachment and adaptation tries to maintain an image in the eyes of another person because they often feel like they're at fault when something goes wrong, or they believe that there is something inherently wrong with them and that's why things have gone wrong, or they believe that they are responsible for fixing them. So they try to make sure that the people around them never experience a negative emotion, because if that person gets upset or if that person gets angry, it is then a reflection on the person using the avoidance strategies, and they may experience shame, guilt, embarrassment, humiliation, or something else. So they try to control that image by people pleasing. So they become compulsive caregivers or compulsively compliant, or they idealize the other person in some way, not seeing that other person's faults, trying to always keep them happy, because if they don't, then they will feel these emotions that are too much for them. And avoidant attachment is about inhibiting negative emotion. Somebody with an anxious or coercive attachment strategy based on the DMM is trying to maintain an image or a view of themselves rather than the other person. So when they're engaging in people-pleasing behaviors, they're doing it for their own needs. So the avoidant person is trying to avoid an experience or avoid a feeling or avoid believing something about themselves. But the person who is using a coercive strategy already believes something about themselves. So they may believe that they are misunderstood. They may believe that they are helpless, that they need other people to care for them and protect them. And so by people pleasing, they're reinforcing that belief about themselves. So when the other person doesn't respond in an appropriate way to their kindness and their behaviors, they're able to then say, yes, nobody does love me. Nobody does care about me. They're able to recognize that they're misunderstood. They're able to validate a feeling of helplessness, because a lot of coercive patterns are about feigned helplessness or a need for rescue. So the way a person people pleases is influenced by the type of attachment strategies they have. The avoidant person is trying to control your image of them by getting you to stay happy so they don't have to feel bad about themselves. The person with the coercive strategies is trying to please you and keep you happy so that they can stay in a position of feeling the victim, feeling like they're misunderstood or feeling like they're helpless in some way and that they don't have any control. These behaviors are formed in childhood because of the relationships we have with our parents. In order for us to change them, we first need to recognize that that is what we're doing. We then need to make a conscious effort to be able to decide how we'd like to change the behaviors. The avoidant person needs to get comfortable with disappointing people, get comfortable with their negative emotions, feel okay with their guilt or their embarrassment, knowing that their intentions were maybe good. And the person who is coercive needs to recognize that their feelings of helplessness or their feelings of victimhood are not valid in their current relationships. And that if they want those relationships to be better, they need to become more proactive about expressing their needs and allowing the other person to express their needs also. If you'd like to find out more about people pleasing, please join my online program, From People Pleaser to Boundaries Badass. You can find the link in the information below.